Welcome back, everyone, to episode 18 of Your Thoughts and Comments. So we're going to get straight into these. These are covering the last couple of weeks, and people are not happy, including myself. So let's get straight in. So we're going to start off straight away with Not Starving Marvin's comment on the stats and stuff video around the changes that are happening. Are they making them too late? What's going on, etc. And it's just put literally, eBay is a joke. Closed. What can you say? It is a joke. It is a joke for sure what's going on at the minute. There's just so much that they're tinkering with, they're changing, they're moving the goalposts, and it's just having a massive, massive negative impact. You can't just put it straight down to the economy or the time of year, the summer slowdown. These are definitely true factors that affect things, but not to the extremes that are happening on the platform. There have been those that have come into the comments and gone, "Oh, people are still trying to live in the COVID years. You know, you need to bring up yourselves up to time, up to date, etc., etc." Well, jog on. We're past that. We know COVID is gone. We're not living in the COVID times. We're past the COVID times. We're now in the recession times, which are having a massive impact on the economy for sure. But these changes go way beyond that. And your voice, your comments say it all. So let's move along. So our next one is Arena Vision. And this was on the last Your Thoughts and Comments video. And he's just put, "Great video, Carl. Thanks very much, Arena Vision. I know you're not really in the eBay world 100% like you used to be. But even so, I know it's really great that you're giving the comments and keeping your foot in the pond and just keeping an eye on what's really going on out there." Moving along to JL Stanton's comment. So it says, "So it's 20 hours, 20 minutes into my eBay day. I'm at 46 views on 4,200 items. That's 85% down from what I was getting before eBay throttled us last year around April the 1st. I've been getting 85 or so a day lately, or 75% down from the 400 I used to get. Glad I've been cross-listing to get traction. This is eBay for the foreseeable future. I closed my antique booth and had a big sale to raise capital. I'm going to finish the book and publish it early September. Looking forward to that, JL Stanton. Absolutely looking forward to it. Hopefully it's doing what it needs to do. Hopefully you're staying above water, friend." Well, no, at the moment, I personally am not staying above water. We are desperately drowning at the moment, as many are. We have KYED9536 on Stats and Stuff video. This one says, "eBay are so stupid asking customers to verify their credit card details when sending an offer. Absolute morons. Of course that will annoy customers. No way I'm going to do something like that. Of course people will avoid such nonsense." And he's absolutely right. There is definitely a level of people that are not going to want to put their card details in. We are trained to not give details out willy-nilly to people. And if you're just mooching on eBay and you're throwing out the odd offer here and there, you're not saying, "Here's my card details, take the money whenever you want." And that's going to put a large portion of people off. So it's not a good move, for sure. You're absolutely right. We have UW Supergirl, and this was on the Stats and Stuff video as well. Another Stats and Stuff video. A lot of them are, obviously. And this one says, "eBay has this odd habit of being like crickets. Then suddenly I get a flurry of sales to cover my store fees. Then it goes quiet again. But today I woke up to nothing again, and now almost 48 hours, and I have no money. If they take that fee out of my bank account, it will affect other payments. I have to make my electricity bill and car insurance unless I suddenly get sales like I've consistently gotten on the first of the month until today." So my initial response was, "Hi there, UW Supergirl. Welcome to the channel. It is infuriating for sure. And you're absolutely right regarding the impact of eBay's visibility or lack of is causing us, the real users, the sellers of eBay, I hope you get some sales very soon and hope to see you on the channel going forwards. Now, I want to add to this a little more, and this is not a slight against UW Supergirl, but we all have to take into account that these fees will be coming out at the end of the month, and we have to factor in the cost of that. We can't rely on eBay. We can't rely on them to open up the visibility. We can't rely on those that get paid towards the end of the month to then start buying on eBay. We have to account this is the running cost, and this needs to come from somewhere. Where is the bare minimum running costs? Well, the bare minimum is keeping your store open. So that subscription fee, you need to make sure no matter what, you have that funds available for those that can. I understand what you're saying. I do. I have been in the same boat, and I'm struggling with it at the moment. We're not getting the sales to even cover the store cost, let alone everything else that goes along with the business. Now, there is something way further along towards the second half of the comments that was mentioned by Benny Staton, and I'm not going to cover it now, but it is around when people's paydays are and when people go shopping, etc., etc. But it's a very valid point, and it does hold a lot of weight. So stay right the way through, because there are some serious points being made here by serious sellers who are being seriously affected by eBay's continuous tinkering and changing and moving of goalposts. So we move along to Craig Cool, a regular to the channel. Welcome back there, Craig. And he says, thanks for another great video, Carl. I am a little bit out of the loop with your daily vids because I've had to get a lot done. But 2 part-time jobs to supplement my dreadful eBay sales, and I'm still struggling to make ends meet. So I can sympathize with UW Supergirl. Absolutely. Officially, I'm no longer a full-time eBay seller. Begging may very well be more profitable, as the thumbnail on that particular Stats and Stuff video was showing. You're not wrong there, sir. I have never been this deponent or disillusioned about eBay. However, this channel is its community is a huge consolation, and I greatly admire your determination to scrutinize these important issues which are affecting all of us. And this is so true. So my response here was thanks, Craig, and sorry to hear that things are where they are for you. I am very, very close to being in the same boat regards part-time job too. It's a sorry state of affairs for sure. Stay strong. We will survive. Now, my situation has actually worsened, and now I am actively looking for part-time work to keep ahead of the running costs and the bills, because there just isn't enough money coming in from eBay. I literally should be begging on the streets to make more than what I get from eBay, and I wouldn't have the overhead commitment to begging that I would if I was doing that instead of eBay. But how long can it go on for? You know, how many changes does it need to have? How far down that funnel of growth does eBay need to go before its shareholders and board members say, Jamie, enough is enough. Time to part ways. We need to change the ship's journey here, because it's sinking. It is sinking. It's that simple. Space Lord, after an okay 2 weeks, this week is shaping up to be my worst in years. Less than £100 after fees. Anyway, just taking it as it comes. I admire your focus and your positivity as far as just got to keep going. Your determination, Space Lord. It's a sorry state of affairs. I've just put, hey there, Space Lord. Sorry to hear about the slump. Keeping my fingers crossed things improve swiftly for you, as they should be for all of us, because this is just devastating at the moment. Paul Rose on one of the community posts. I've just been working so many hours. The mental stress, the physical stress, the psychological stress, it took its toll. And I sat down for just 10 minutes, and my partner Natalie managed to get a picture of me just zonked out. I zoned out and fell asleep. while taking a 10-minute break. But I did get back into things, and I carried on till the early hours of the next morning, as we have to at the moment. Major Win, not seen you for a while there, Major Win. Great to have you here. This was also on the community post saying, so sorry, Carl, that exhaustion is real right now for so many. We hope you get plenty of rest and feel a positive reward for all your hard work. So do I, eventually. Not sure when it's going to happen, though. This month is appalling. Julie Dubois, just having a little bit of a giggle at my snoozing. We've got Not Mason as put subbed. Yeah, the past few weeks have been rough for me as well. Canadian reseller. So it's not just UK, not just US, it's across the board. Absolutely international throughout eBay at the moment. To top it off, this past week or so, I've had to process 3 returns under dubious circumstances, which has just been a delight. I'm feeling like the returns are also contributing to my slow sales on top of summer slowness. It's entirely possible, to be fair. Net income was 134 Canadian dollars last week, and this week so far we're on 221 net income. Only part-time, but yikes, barely covers the costs. Hopefully things look up in Q4. Well, Not Mason, you've done better than I did last week and this week. And I'm full-time. The scales of fairness just seem to be out the window here. The scales of stability have just been kicked to the curb. You cannot rely on any particular hour, day, week, or month of this year. It's been all over the place. Political Amster has put, eBay got greedy. Unless you pay to promote, you get little or no traffic, which is true. Other sites like Vinted or Depop are going to take over in the coming years. Rest in peace, eBay. These sentiments are coming from all corners of the globe, eBay. You need to listen to your community of sellers. It's a symbiotic relationship. You need buyers, you need sellers. Without buyers, we can't sell. If we can't sell, you make no money other than the fees on the subscription costs or the pay-per-clicks if anyone goes down that road, or offsite ads. Seems to be more promoting going on and paying you than there is actual sales going on. If without the sellers, you get no subscription costs, you get no promoted pay-per-click fees, you get no sales because there's nothing for people to buy. There's nothing to entice people in. So you need us too. We are just as important as the buyers. Both of us need you as a platform for a source to go to. But do we? You need to be asking yourself this because there are alternatives for many. And what are you doing to bring people in? Absolutely sweet FA. What you're doing is charging sellers more, which means we have to up our costs, which means buyers are going elsewhere because they can't afford to buy the prices we're starting to put in because our margins are getting squeezed. Or even not getting squeezed, they're getting squeezed more. Sublime makes a joke, sleeping on the job. Yes, it was. That was on the community post, of course. We now have Reeferholics652 saying, spot on, mate, with the manipulation. They're using us as cash cows while testing. Absolutely. I'm a high volume seller. My product prices range from £5 to £80, and our sales have dropped by 80% over the few months. And no way it's the economy, as I'm told when I ring eBay customer services. Our sales on Amazon have also dropped, but not as much. But we have consistently with Amazon, I think that's meant to say we have consistently sold with Amazon. As with eBay, we do not. which makes me believe they're manipulating sellers for profit to keep the shareholders happy, which pisses me off, excuse the French. Absolutely fine on this channel, don't worry. I've got product listings with over 80,000 sales history on an individual listing. And these listings over the months have dropped in ranking organically, and you have to pay stupid keyword bid amounts in campaigns for it to even rank higher up in the page, which then eats all of our profit margins, which is absolutely ridiculous. We've been increasing prices to cover these excessive keyword bids, but then this negatively affects the sales because the buyers are not willing to pay the price. It becomes a joke. At one point, we were turning over 30K a week, and now we barely hit 2K. I've had to lay off staff and a ton of stock whilst it's just sitting there. I love the videos and the stats and tests you're running. I love the videos and the tests you're running. Keep them coming. Well, thanks, Reeferholic. And I really am sorry that you've had to lay off staff. This is an absolute knock-on effect. And this is what eBay seems to not care about. They just don't realize the knock-on effect of these tweaks and changes are tiny to them, but they are massive to businesses. They are massive to revenue returns. It's ridiculous. We have to pay people. We have bills. We have overheads. We'd like just a little bit of profit, you know? I hope things turn around for you, and thank you and welcome to the channel. Polish Pete, nice to see you, Polish Pete. This is around the this is around the experiencing the worst day in 5 years. Well, we're past that now because well, check out the stats of stuff video for the 14th once we get that done later today. The stats, they're disastrous. I don't have words to how bad they are. Anyway, let's get into this. So, Polish Pete, last week I had +3 overall sales compared to the week before, yet +12 promoted sales. They're just swapping my old 10 organic sales into promoted sales. I see this trend for the last 3 weeks now. Same here with year-on-year report, no joy. Yeah, because we've been having a lot of problems with the reports. Response is there is definitely something afoot, and unfortunately, it never seems to be something good. I think we're going to have to be vigilant in making sure we factor this in when setting financial targets going forwards. D Jazza says, I think the HMRC thing at the beginning of the year has had a hit on eBay users. Suppose that would hit the sellers more than the buyers, though. I'm not actually sure what you mean by that, D Jazza. So if you'd like to pop it in the comments for me, or if anyone does understand what that means, that's in the UK, please pop it in the comments and let me know. I'm not entirely sure what you're at there. If I've missed something, I really would like to know what's going on. Space Lord on the same video says, funny thing, I also had worst weeks since I can remember. Less than £100 in your currency, despite record number of listings. So I think there's a major upheaval coming to the platforms. Mark my words. I definitely do. I definitely think there's going to be some major changes happening soon. They have to. They absolutely have to. Okay, so moving over to Hazel Cowie. Happy birthday. When it comes, sales for me have also been poor, so it's also affecting the non-promoting sellers. Definitely something really bad wrong with the site currently. I said, thanks, Hazel. It's tomorrow, and as the saying goes, there's a storm brewing. There absolutely is. JL Stanton. I'll open this one up. This is a big one. To Benny, in fact, we'll come to that in a moment. That's a longer one. So let's have a look. What have we here? We've got a few. Right, so we'll start at the beginning. So seems to be a pattern here, Carl. This is around the worst day ever. So seems to be a pattern here, Carl. I am at $1,378 over the past 31 days and 8 no sales days this month. So my sales are down over the past 31 days, 73% from where they were before the comment hit last year. I'd never had a 4 no sales month in over 10 years with a fraction of the inventory I have now, let alone 8. Thank God I'm doing well on Facebook Marketplace and in my Facebook groups I run. I'm working to push out the book next month so that Jamie has something to talk about come the next stock report. We'll make sure you have a copy to review and share before the comet hits. I was getting 350, 450 views a day. I'm getting 60 to 70 now. WTF, just WTF. Benny's response to this: it's a good conversation going on here. Regarding the Q2 earnings call, I know many were saying to me in comments, including Biff, that when I was saying Jamie did not want low-priced items on the site, no matter if they're high sell-through rate or not, I told all to listen carefully to his comments in the earnings call. Many did not, or just do not want to hear the truth. Well, Jamie put it all to rest with Q2 2024 earnings call. When someone questioned him about that very fact, he said, "We want buyers who are going to spend more on single purchases." Okay, great. I'm all fine with that, but you do not throw out or toss to the side all the sellers that made your company what it is today by selling those small items, those low priced items, but sold them in volume, like $3 items, but sold 30. That is a $90 sales. Smalls add up quick, but Jamie does not want this. He has finally said it loud and clear, and it will be his worst mistake he has ever made. He is already losing sellers who made that their model. Thank God I'm an everything seller. I sell everything and at every price point and at low STR and high STR. There are many sellers in all the other categories besides the pet project focused categories that eBay has abandoned. And they 100% did. Another YouTube channel was talking about this on their live the other night and hit the nail on the head. eBay is not longer, I think that's is no longer in the volume game. They want their sales to be big. They figure they can lose sales volume as long as the sales they get are above a certain amount. Sorry. I mean, come on. Is this the type of model you want to be implementing on your platform in alleged down economy? They stated on this channel that those that sell in these other categories that are focus categories are going to have to settle for the leftovers. I 100% agree. It will be 100% survival of the fittest. This is why I have told sellers, both who have channels and those that just comment, that those that sell in these focus categories are, and fashion is one of them, i.e. clothing, why they might be doing good. It's because they are selling these focus categories. If they are not selling in these focus categories, they would be just like all the rest of us. 100% truth. I'm sorry, but you should not have to have a following to have sales. That is total BS. And that shows even more how the system is rigged on these platforms, especially eBay, at least under the current algo, until new blood comes in and totally turns the company on its head. From my hope, turns it back to how it was pre-COVID, even before Devin. I'd say turn it back to Donahue or Whitman days. Then we will see brighter days, and until then, it really is survival of the fittest. Then on to Benny Stratton's responses: because you do not see Amazon and Walmart saying to heck with these low-priced items and throw those products and companies to the curb. Heck no, they know that their bread and butter. Yes, it's not to sell those $500 and $1,000 or $5,000 items, but to sell. But sorry, eBay, that is not an everyday thing you're going to make those prices on. $105 or $110 items, or even $1,005. eBay has to play the volume game for the sellers' sakes and for their own company's sake. Sorry if Walmart and Amazon can play the low price volume game, so you can, Jamie. There is no reason you can't do the low price volume game and also implement going after these alleged enthusiastic buyers. You can do both at the same time. There's no excuses as to why you can't do both. Sorry, these enthusiastic buyers are not going to carry you indefinitely. It's not a sustainable model, period. End of story. You need to embrace both or even all low price, medium price, and high price. J.L. Stanton's response to this is Jamie will go down as one of the dumbest people to ever run a Fortune 500 company. You nailed it. He could have whatever the hell it is he's trying to do along with all of our business. Right now, I'm not really motivated to do the listing I used to do on eBay because something has gone south on the platform. So far south that I'm making 1/7 of what I was making before their change last year, end of March, beginning of April. That means they're making 1/7 what they used to. Times that by the millions of sellers and zero growth. The book I'm working on will have a lot of advice on cross-listing and using eBay to move more of your eBay customers to those other sites, as this is probably going to be what eBay is for at least 2 more years. As I've said before, eBay can't fix itself until they get rid of the cancer, which is Jamie. He is so out of touch with the platform, it's unreal. And sadly, the one thing that bothers me is he'll be given generational wealth for being so horrible at his job when he finally is fired. My traffic is down 80 to 90% every day from where it used to be. I guess that's my fault for doing or not doing something eBay won't share with me. I said last year that this year would be tough and dedicated to taking my eBay business and spreading the risk among a number of platforms as I'd be done, out of business if I had depending on eBay for my livelihood. Whatever Jamie's trying to do isn't working, and how he's still employed blows my mind. I'm timing my book to be finished and get reviewed by YouTubers and e-commerce writers a month or more before the next earnings report. I'm going to have a chapter in there dedicated to reporters forcing Jamie to answer their questions. How to do it, the questions to ask in order to get real truth from Jamie. He's ghosting to his face questions, and if I were someone who with a lot of money to invest, I would be investing in eBay with that kind, or wouldn't be investing in eBay, with that kind of garbage being done. When investors begin to know how bad he's killed the site, I expect a huge sell-off and correction to show a value that eBay is really worth. You nailed it though. Be greedy, support us all, we'll return the favor. How simple is that? But no, Jamie wants 50% or more of our income while not providing the traffic to support such a thing. He doesn't seem to understand basic math and probability. And investors and board members don't seem to understand doing research on the leader and seeing what he's doing and not doing. By the way, it's interesting learning from other sites how much business they are gaining because of eBay, both selling platforms and cross-listing platforms. People don't buy cross-listers to go from, say, Posh to eBay. But as they say, back to the cross-listing. Working to get 2,000 plus 78 RPM records from eBay to Discogs by the end of this year, as well as an additional 3,000. Every sale through eBay of 78s gets a flyer telling the customer how to follow me on Discogs and save money on their purchases there. All my Discogs items are cheaper than they are on eBay. In essence, I'm using eBay as true advertising, not placement. Hopefully I have 5,078s up on Discogs by the year's end and around 3,500 on eBay. I finally got all my stuff out of my 12 by 50 foot storage unit in Utah and brought it up to Idaho. There were many things related to the space programs I bought right before I moved back to Idaho after 23 years in Utah, as well as 50,000 records, shelving, fixtures, etc. All that would have gone up on eBay before. Not now. When you don't show my stuff and force me to sell elsewhere, it hurts your business while building mine for the future. There's a ton of stuff I just won't sell on eBay any longer because of what Jamie has unleashed. I'm sure there are a lot of sellers doing the same thing. When the book comes out, it'll be free download, and the marketing I have planned should get a lot of readership. I mean, I have a target audience on eBay of 18 million sellers, and the price is right. But seriously, you nailed it. eBay could have it all, but choose to simply screw us for no apparent reason, as even if we give them everything, they won't give us back the traffic they took away. Why do that? So stupid. Now, with regards to what's being said there, I can't fault any of it. It's absolutely spot on. eBay is destroying it. Jamie is destroying eBay. You know, he's destroying the platform. He is. I want to be positive about eBay. Don't get me wrong. I really, really do. But every single decision they make, every single step they take, screws us, the sellers, over every time. They are charging more, giving less, taking more, giving less, improving things, but showing less. How does that grow a business? What Jamie is after is a platform of unicorn buyers. Now, we as sellers know that a unicorn sale is awesome, and you can game it a little to get some momentum behind a few unicorn sellers and buyers and a few unicorn sales. But you can't run a business on unicorn sales. It's impossible. It's a flawed strategy and business plan. Moving along. Oh dear, it's so laughable. Moving along. Okay, so around the same stats and stuff video, we have Paul Rose. He says, nobody knows where my eBay sales have gone, but Jamie left the same time. Why am I about to go bust when I'm listing all of the time? It's fecking eBay, and I'll cry if I want to. You won't cry too if it happened to you. 0 sales again so far today for me too, Carl. Hazel Cow has responded saying, sing along as you read there, Paul. Sang along as you read there, these, Paul. Your humor will see you through this blip. Very positive words coming and thoughts there, Hazel. And it's great to have you guys on the channel because you all support each other, and that is what it's all about. Amazing. Moving over to Husty's Emporium. I don't want to be that guy, and it's not being done for any reason apart for just letting you know. I'm using the FU promoted system, and I've got it down to 3 no sales days. Aren't great, but 2 days, but 2 today, and a run of quite a few days now, which is great. Absolutely brilliant, Husty. I'm really, really impressed you've managed to get your 0 sales down. Keep up the great work. And I've put great work, Husty. Nothing to worry about. Great to hear you having those 0 sales down. Maybe my head is scrambled, but what is FU promoted system? His response is, I don't think I can repeat what exactly it means on here, but I'm sure you can work it out if I'm not promoting anything. Got it. And Just Kath has put love it. And I get it. I get it now. Thank you. It was kind of where I thought it was going, but I just wanted to be sure. Okay. Yeah, I took my birthday off, so there wasn't a stats and stuff video there. Paul Rose was just saying happy birthday. Thank you very much. Hazel Cowie on the same day. Can't join in tomorrow because I was going to do a live, but my whole world has gone upside down lately. So unfortunately, I've not been able to do half the things that I wanted to get done. So we're going to be on the catch up over the coming weeks. It says can't join tomorrow though, but we'll watch on the catch up. Just purchased your book numero 2. Thank you very much, Hazel. So yeah, don't forget to check out the books. They're on Amazon, not eBay. Check them out. Some great information in there. Help you move your business forwards if eBay do the right thing. Huge thanks to all for all your great info for us all to have. Rewards await you, I'm sure. But all good, Hazel. Have a great day. Lots of sales. And many thanks for the support with the books and channel. Okay, we now move over to Benny Stratton, and he says this runs around the 14-minute, 37-second mark. He says 100% car. It's a matter of time before Jamie is gone, but it's like a poker game. How long can sellers go with slow or no sales before Jamie is gone? And I fear that by the time eBay lets Jamie go, it might be too late for whoever comes next to turn this ship around. That Q2 earnings call was horrible, especially if you're a seller. And I'd also say this is a stockholder, as well as when he's like proud of 1% growth, while his main competition is Amazon and Walmart. And they're doing 10 and 15% growth every quarter, including Q2. Sorry, but Walmart and Amazon's 10 to 15% growth every quarter, year over year, blows away eBay's 1%, just barely each quarter, year on year. It's just disgusting. Sorry, Jamie, there is nothing at all to be proud of. The only thing you should be proud of is how well you can lie directly to shareholders and actually think they are buying it. It was really disgusting how he treated the shareholders who actually asked real hard questions. Not kissing his you-know-what. And as he basically talked about anything else except answering the questions, he is 100% a bullshitter. And anyone that takes him for his word is just as gullible fool and deserves to get hurt financially. Meaning if you're a seller or a stockholder. If you're buying his crap, that's all that it's all sunshine and roses, at eBay land. Keep drinking that Kool-Aid. That is further from the truth. And I almost fell out of my seat when I heard him say about the buy account. It's where he expected it to be at this time. YPE. Flat. You know why he expected it to be there? So did I. Because he's not advertising to get more buyers. So, of course, if you're not aggressively advertising like the competition, and always has been, then you have to expect it to be the same, flat, or even worse. By the way, did you notice how the last few quarterly earnings calls and reports, they have failed to put how many active sellers they have? We know it has been less than 17 million. Now, since they are losing multitude of sellers by the day, I'd love to see what the true count is now. By the way, in 2018, the active buyer count was around 180 million compared to the 132 million now. And it's not growing because they are not actively or aggressively going after new buyers or even older buyers who have an account but is inactive. I.e., send them some coupon for $25 off on eBay's dime. Nope. eBay expects sellers to offer this and that for buyer, but when it comes to sorry, my words are all over the show here. When it comes to them to offer things for inactive buyers to get them active again, nope, eBay is not footing any bill, not on their dime. What a contractive world we live in, eBay land. I guess in eBay's eyes, it's rules for thee, but not for me. Very, very valid points. They're not going after buyers at all. They're expecting, quite simply, us to do the promoting, us to fit the bill, to bring the buyers to their platform, to sign up to their platform, to start purchasing, browsing, etc. on their platform, but we're fitting the bill. That's not our job. It's that simple. It's not our job. And I'll tell you why. Because they want us to bring subscribers to eBay. That's eBay's job. Our job is to turn those subscribers and viewers into buyers. That's the part we're in control of, and what we should be in control of, and what we are responsible for. We pay eBay for the platform with a customer base that brings customers to the platform to view our listings. It is then our job within platform to sell our wares by whatever options they allow us within the platform. So promoted listings. Yes, okay. We don't like it, but that makes sense. Okay. As far as having it, the dynamics of how it works, that's not what we're going on here, but that is what it is. Offsite advertising, absolutely not. We are not responsible for that, or we shouldn't be. They've passed that to us because they are so backwards. They're not willing to promote. They're not willing to negotiate a price with Google to promote on the Google Shopping and the free ads, etc. That's their problem. And what they've gone is, I'm not paying that price. We don't want to pay that. And Google have gone, well, we're that big. We don't give a toss. Bugger off then. And they go, well, hang on. Let's see if we can work something out. How about we negotiate this price? And they've gone, well, it's really not what we want to do. It says, well, what we'll do is we'll get the buyers to promote, and we'll put the packages together, and we'll take this much cut out of their pay-per-click, and you can have that much out of their pay-per-click, and you can position it within this percentage ratio on your Google Shopping. That is what they've done. And Google have gone, well, you do what you want with your customers, but yeah, okay, we'll take those odds. That's fine. It's revenue, but you're not going to get the full power because you're not willing to pay the price. That's what's happened. And now that's all they rely on. So all that money that's coming in, they're going, oh, shareholders, look, you've made billions. The fact that we've screwed the paupers to pay you and our pockets doesn't matter, because you're still getting your share. Now, on the surface, great. Shareholders are getting some cash. You think you're going to keep lining their pockets and then go, oh, that's cool, that's great. That's yeah. What about the future? Well, we've got these great innovations, magical innovations. We're going to do this, and we're going to get them to spend this much and blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. And then we'll get promoted on that as well. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to get a good share around from that. But 50% of your platform is us, not the enthusiast buyers, the enthusiast buyers, product sellers, if that makes sense. So what you're basically saying is, if we screw them enough, we're happy to lose half the platform's revenue-ish in order to keep those enthusiast buyers. And we're going to turn our platform, instead of a place to sell cheap resellable items or medium price resellable items, we're going to turn it into a collector's platform. Now, we've also got our automotive platform part. Now we're going to have the collector's platform. But you lot that account for half the platform, we don't give a shit. That is where they're at. But at some point, they're going to notice, because they have to. And I think they are noticing. I mean, 1% growth. The financial institutions are saying that eBay is not a growth company. There's nothing about eBay that's good at the minute. Nothing. That is my view. So let's move along. We've got Eco Pure window cleaning. It says the consumer is tapped out. This will only get worse. And my response is, hey there, welcome to the channel. I agree. This is why eBay's stopping offsite promoting to attract new buyers from their funding was the worst move they've made on the they've made to platform growth. And it's just appalling. Darth Thrifter, happy birthday, Carl. Thank you. Someone's put, who is Jamie from eBay? I'm guessing you're fairly new, but Jamie, for those that don't know, if you don't, is the CEO. Okay, we have Tinker Nomad. It's giving poor people should buy more expensive clothes. Not sure what you're quite saying there, but you're trying to say that they should be buying higher priced items, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. We got Bryn B. I've 2,500 items in stock, listing 8 a day now and selling about 8 a day, but having to promote at 12.5%. So profits are getting squeezed as 90% of sales are now promoted. And that is another discussion. Absolutely. They are. And I think this is where all of this organic impression is coming from. When you look at your promoted advertising dashboard, you see organic, which I've proved and I've stated very clearly that is a lie. It is false information. It is organic promoted. It is not pure organic. But what they're doing is with the new coding is, for example, you have one product. Let's just say this pen, you're looking for a Sharpie pen and you've got other pens that come in because of the keyword pens, and then out of the blue it will throw you're saying, okay, so in that search is pens, pair of glasses, and somehow it's getting that into the mix. Now why it's doing that is very, very devious, because the more of those that you see, there is going to be a level of people that go, actually I wasn't looking for glasses, but I do need some glasses, let's click on it. They click on it. It is then encompassed in halo. It is encompassed in the halo. Get that into your head very clear. Which means they don't go for it. They go back, I'm looking for pens. Let's go back to pens. Now, if that buyer comes to any of your listings in the next 30 days, any of them, comes across them, goes back to looking for glasses, whatever, they've got you. It's now a promoted fee. So the more shit they throw at the wall, relevant or irrelevant, falls into the halo. And then the more and the more of that becomes promoted fee. That is how they're getting you. So this is all, what's the word I'm looking for? It's irrelevant to the search, but it is a devious way to make more of your listings, any of your listings. They've only got to get you to look at one of your listings, any one, and you're under the halo. And then if that gets a bit of interest, they'll start promoting the crap out of it in the promoted section, i.e. within other people's listings. And then there's more chance of that selling because they'll throw that back at that buyer again, and it will keep showing up. And eventually you're going to get a sale, most likely, if you're positioned right. And then they've got you. And then they can then put that in front of other people because they know that's now selling. That one particular one is working. So they're going to get more and more and more. Now, on the surface, yeah, fine, you want the sales. But it's a devious way of increasing the revenue on promoted fees. And I think that's something we have to take into account. That is the way they're going. So Remote Master, around one of the top 100 videos. I see you have a great depth of knowledge with lots of work invested to create content about eBay, including guides. Yet you explain an eBay account with hundreds of listings having 0 to low sales days. Is this brand new, being subject to testing as a demonstration tool, or is it very knowledgeable owner and established business fighting to survive the challenging times? Thanks. Well, as many of you know, you've got the answer already. If you're new to the channel, you might want to check on some of the other videos. We keep it real. We have been selling for several years now on eBay, 5+, nearly 6 years ourselves. We do a lot of research. We've got decades of sales research and customer service history. We know how to work on the platform. We have a lot of e-commerce experience in selling, and we were doing well. We, like many others, and I'm nowhere near on the 6 to 7 figure scale as many of those bigger sellers are that are also on YouTube, are reporting similar results at the moment. You've only got to watch this video. You can hear it, you can see it. The information we give in our tips and our advice, it is tips and advice. There are some very valid points in there, a lot of wealth of knowledge, and that should be working. And there's no reason why it isn't, except for the factors that eBay are implementing. They're changing the goalposts daily. We are fighting to survive, like many, and that is what's going on here. So, as I stated to Remote Master, that is the situation. His response is that is shocking situation and makes you wonder if eBay are not helping your type of business, meaning they earn next to no money from you. Then they are leveraging large sellers for bigger returns. If the seller makes no money, nor does eBay. Absolutely. And he's spot on. It's a great observation. Kieran, nice video. Thank you. Muskman, if I get a message from the buyer, I first check their feedback left for others to see if I even want to do business with them. And yes, that is the thing. You have that right. You don't have to sell to particular buyers. But I'd be cautious as to those that you choose not to sell to, because we need the sales. It's a rock and a hard place, but be careful. The more experience you have, the more you're going to notice a particular buyer, their patterns, their feedbacks to others, how they interact with the website, how they interact with you, and you can make those decisions from there. I would generally say if you're getting twinges, give it a second chance. Let's see how it goes. And then when it gets that second point, like a second ridiculous question or bombarding you with questions, things like this, you can then make a decision as to block them or not, whether or not you want to continue. Because if they've got that sort of response going prior to the sale, how much issues are you going to have after the sale? I'd rather keep it smooth, personally. Moving over, we have Polish Pete on the stats and stuff. You won't believe how eBay are manipulating my business and destroying it. I've seen Jeff's video, checked my sales, same here. Sales of items sold where 80% of views is organic, so it says, and that is something else. Yet sales are promoted. My conspiracy theory should be on my channel on Sunday, and if you haven't watched it, check it out. Polish Pete's video is very, very good, and it does open your eyes into what falls into the halo. Same here, said Tommy B. Sales have dropped. Not had any sales via promoted listings, but big increase in traffic via promoted listings. Just put nice one, Pete. We'll see. We'll wait to see your video before I finish mine so I can compare notes and details first. Thanks for the update. Moving along, we have Husty's Emporium. They've nerfed promoted for sure, in my opinion. I'm still in the FU method, down to 3 no sales days. Only 1 sale today, though, but I'm not really trying hard. While it's working, I don't dare touch it, though. DJ Jazz makes me wonder if I should cancel all my promoted listings. I have 85 items listed with 80 of the promoted. Given what you are saying, do you think I should end all the promotions? I can't make that decision. You'd need to make your own thought choice on that one. I would look at your campaigns, how long you've been running them. I'm currently running a test on 4-day promoted listing campaigns to keep the traffic and visibility high. We have noticed an instant overnight cliff fall on any campaign that goes beyond that. So we'll keep you informed on that one. Space Lord, hope things pick up soon. I'm starting to think there is some macroeconomic decline affecting sales. I definitely feel that is a factor into it for sure, but I think there's much more than that as well. Okay, we move over to Benny Stratton. This one was on the podcast Rewind series, looking back at the Your Thoughts and Comments videos. So Benny Stratton at 2 minutes 26. Let's just open this up. Here we go. So that is what I was doing until June 1st when I started my experiment of only doing an end and sell similar every 90 days as recommended by eBay. So since June the 1st, I've not did one end sell similar. I will most likely do one on September 1st. And so far, so good. I've been in the green both June and July, and now in August, which is great specifically in the summer months. So for me, if it's been this great in the summer, I'm having high hopes for fall and winter, when it's usually the two best seasons on average. So far, it has shown me you do not need to do end sell similar to get sales, but I was doing that model with ending and selling similar, on a daily basis. The items that were going to end that day, 17k items. So each item got ended and sold similar once a month. And yes, I would decrease the price by 0.5% each month. So my plan is, if I start to only do it every 90 days, starting September 1st, every 90 days, I'll decrease the price by 1.5%. Well, I'm hoping that works and has been continuing. So let's look. So 20 minutes 30, to update you and everyone else, Google would not lift the suspension for my website host, so they had to go and create all new Google ad accounts for each website owner, including myself. And it's like starting from square one on Google advertising. Luckily, it did not take too long to start getting clicks via the paid advertising. It took about a week, and since that day, it's been pretty consistent of 5 to 6 clicks per day again. It's like starting from scratch after having the web host handle this and doing Google ads for a decade or more. So it will be a challenge, but I understood this going into this, and I like the progress so far. I just hope it will increase to what it was prior to Google changing and how they did things and the paid ads flatlining. I'm assuming, Benny, that's around your own website. Maybe I'm just blind as a bat and not reading that properly. But it's great to see that things are moving forwards again for you. Either way, if that's relating to promoting Google, on Google about eBay, but directly through Google, please reach out to me in the channel's email address, ebaylife2023@gmail.com. I'll be interested to know a bit more about that and how things are going for you. So on 29 minutes 15 seconds, it says, I believe now they have settled their differences, and I'm seeing a lot more eBay items on Google Shopping than I am of other platforms, when a few 6 to 12 months, because I check for my products from my website, making sure they show up in Google Shopping. So I think that answers my previous question. I had seen a lot less eBay items and a lot more other platforms. OfferUp, Poshmark, Mercari, Bonanza. Because of this factual research comparing 6 to 12 months ago to right now, I think they have settled their differences. Not sure how they did it. If eBay saved and paid Google what they wanted, or Google caved and gave eBay a better discount, but something happened, and now eBay is getting more visibility on Google Shopping for the items they send to Google. Interesting, very interesting. So what you're saying is, from your observations, that something seems to have been sorted, however, and eBay items are now starting to appear back on Google. That is good to know. I'll have to check that for myself as well, see how that's going. If anyone else has got any figures that they'd like to share with regards to that, anyone's done any research into what's showing up on Google Shopping from eBay, that'd be great to hear, seeing if we are getting a bit more visibility again, and then curious as to how, because it could well be, as Benny's mentioned, with regards to sorting the differences, or it could be that people are starting to use offsite ads more aggressively, or it could also be that eBay have started sorting out the issues they had with getting those listings promoted. It'd be interesting. Or people may be just using the offsite ads and manually choosing better keywords for their search. Who knows? But any practices anyone's been running, please share them in the comments. We've got to find some way through this quagmire for sure. But again, on 3038, not just your eyes, Carl, but your mind open too. Many have closed minds. They are like robots and just do as ordered. Bad way to be, in my honest opinion. Yeah, for sure. 100%. At the 39-minute mark, 100% Carl, when I first heard this was happening, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the heck is eBay doing here? But I come back to how I have been looking at all this last few months to a year. I run my business. I'm only worried about my business. I will milk eBay and ride the wave for as long as I can. But I'm not stupid. I'm not one of those that has their head in the sand. I live in logic land. Absolutely. And so do I. I see the writing on the wall. I read between the lines. I do not buy the executives, especially the current CEO and CFO's BS every quarterly earnings call, because those calls are not just for stockholders, they're for sellers too. As the saying goes, what goes up must come down, and all good things must come to an end, including eBay. There were huge companies that closed their doors in the United States over the last 50 years. Many people never thought these companies would close, but it's because these people believed the company's executives BS. I agree. Do you think they're going to come out and admit to all the bad decisions and errors they've uh, have done to the company in the last 4 to 5 years? No, of course not. It would cause the stock to sink and crash flatter than your head could spin. But again, if sellers have their head in the sand to the obvious and the logical, no matter the BS crap the executives say, then that is on them when eBay no longer exists. If these sellers thought eBay would go on forever and ever, that is on them for having their heads in the sand and not listening, or at least having an open mind to those that did not have their heads in the sand. So yeah, I'm going to ride the eBay wave no matter how much damage they do to their company, because the bad decisions they make for it, the current executive team, I'm diversified. I do not have to worry if eBay should close their doors tomorrow, because they are actually bankrupt. Again, not telling the public the truth about their financials. And yes, common practical business sense is to diversify and is to not have all your eggs in one basket. I've tried a couple of times to start diversifying the channels that I can sell my products through, but there's very limited options for the products that I do within the UK and on platforms we have, especially when it comes to cross-listing. I think I have to be open-minded. I mean, it may come to a point where I'm going to have to start diversifying further afield as far as the products, if I can survive this environment, shall we say, and maybe start filtering out the products and moving to new areas. It may have to be. It may have to be. And then those areas could then utilize some of the possible diversified platforms for those products. It wouldn't be an overnight thing. It's certainly going to take a long, arduous journey of change if that is an option that I go down. I may start that whilst diversifying with the other options. Now, for me, on my businesses, as it is, I have eBay. I have the YouTube channel with your great support and continual comments, which helps the YouTube side and eventually Sooner rather than later, we'll get that monetized, and then there'll be some sort of, even if it's a fractional income coming from there, which will help take a fraction of the pressure that we're receiving from eBay off. We also have the books. If we can get those moving faster over time, that will be another passive residual income coming from there. So we have those options within the eBay umbrella, as it were, but it is diversified as far as the businesses, but they're covering the one topic. I may further down the line have to look at other options outside of eBay as a business, possibly a new channel covering a different subject, which I've been pondering for a while, but it won't take away from this one for sure. And we'll see. But I don't want to have to go down those roads. I'd rather keep growing my eBay business, but I have to survive. And if surviving means taking a part-time job, more content creation, more works on the book side to grow that side, so that those areas can passively help take the pressure off trying to survive eBay, then I'm going to have to do it. I really don't want to get back in the rat race. I've done it all my life. I'm 53. I don't want to go back down that road. I want a bit of control of my life and my future that I have of the remainder of my time. I want to be able to pass a legacy on to my family and my daughter. I mean, we'll get through. But everyone has to look for their own journey. Everyone has to look for their own diversification. And you definitely, absolutely have got it nailed. You cannot rely on eBay. You cannot rely on one company. No matter how big they are, they could fall. And you have to keep that in the back of your mind for future stability. Okay, Benny again on 49.38. Biff is just throwing mud on the wall to see if it sticks. eBay 100% understands selling and their buyer base. Jamie even stated this to their shareholders in the Q2 earnings call, but guess Biff missed that one. He stated they know that a buyer buys £5,000 worth of luxury purse will not just spend money in that category, but they will also come back and spend 5,000 in other categories, as well as how do they know this if they do not know the buyer's base? So Jamie, by his statement, just made Biff's statement about eBay not knowing the buyer base null and void. The mud did not stick on the wall. Have that conversation with Biff. That's absolutely fine. Keep it in the comments. Keep the conversation going. There is nothing wrong with a healthy debate, for sure, Benny. What I would say, just a side tiny note, and then like you say, you read between lines, and I do too. But that comment in itself that he made, if they're willing to spend, they buy £5,000 a luxury purse, then they're going to buy £500 on other categories. That's not a factual statement by Jamie. For example, I have an interest in, let's just say, I don't know, collectible comics, just for the sake of conversation. Now, I might be really after that number one issue of whatever, and I'm willing to spend £5,000 on it. But that doesn't mean to say I've got another £5,000 to go spending on curtain rails, rucksacks, whatever. Doesn't matter. To say if they've got £5,000 for that, they're going to spend £5,000 on that is a very blasé statement. It's not factual. What you should be saying, to be more factual, is if they're willing to spend £5,000 on a luxury purse, they're likely to come back and spend on other items. But without doing the data research, you can't come out with exactly the same number and say they're willing to do that as well. That is fluff, absolute fluff. I've been striking around 46.17. We cannot forget the most important thing. Every employee signs an NDA agreement. That was regards to the only way anyone's going to ever get through this is if they were to become a whistleblower and speak up. And because of NDAs, they're not going to take that risk. So they've covered their butts on that one. But as I say, it's all compartmentalized. So you only ever know the little fraction of the business that you need to know about. And the rest of it, you don't know how it affects because you got no facts. And that is how that's control. That's pure control. Benny Stratton again, around the 47 minutes 40 mark. Again, another throwing mud on the wall to see if it sticks. That is total BS. Everyone does not get paid at the end of the month. This was the comment I wanted to bring up. Many people get weekly paychecks. Many get bi-weekly. I've never heard of anyone gets paid once a month now. Yes, if you're talking about people who are retired that have social security checks, then yes, they normally get their money first of the month. But guess what? It's not to buy items on eBay. It's to pay their bills. Duh. So please stop, Biff, with the lame excuses for eBay. That is all they are, and very null and void. It can't be a coincidence that the majority of sellers have sales the last week of the month into the first week of the month, especially if they have store subscriptions. Many sellers are now seeing this to be fact again. There is no coincidence about it. The fact is, eBay opens the floodgates that last week of the month and the first week of the month, meaning they do not throttle as much as they do the 2 other weeks of the month. eBay wants to make sure they get paid. That is all they care about, and they care less if they throttle you for 2 weeks and you can't pay. Sorry, let me just read that back. eBay wants to make sure they get paid. That is all they care about. They can care less if they throttle you for 2 weeks and you can't pay your business or personal bills. They do not care about that. 100% agree with you, I'm afraid, Benny. Sorry, Biffo. I completely agree with you, Benny. 100%. 48.25. Sorry, Biff. You can't have it both ways. The myth that they throttle you so you can't handle your sales. Give me a freaking break. That is all all YouTube hearsay and myth. So you're in the group rule for me, but not for thee. So you can pick and choose which myths you support and which you don't. Right, everyone listen now, eBay. Do not throttle you so you can handle your sales. That is a myth, 1000%. 50 minutes and 5 seconds. And just because you, Biff, do not agree with that logic does not mean that it's not true or wrong. Again, how can you say sellers do not look at both sides when you are doing just that by saying what so and so is saying is wrong? Because I do not believe that it is. Not looking at both sides. Moving over to Hazel Cowie on the disastrous last video we did for Stats and Stuff, showing we had 7 sales days in a row and 15 zero sales days in the last 30 days. Unfortunately, that has got worse since then. Check out the Stats and Stuff video. I may leave a link in the end in the top corner here for you. We'll see. So let's move into that. So sorry for you and Natalie having to make such a difficult decision for your pet. Maybe your runaway cat will make a reappearance to balance things. eBay seems like they have their foot on your head holding you down. Just you fight back. Grab their ankle and haul them off you. Just a bit of light-hearted nonsense to keep your pecker up. Sales for me are much slower than normal in the non-promoted world too. So we are all being affected by the shenanigans. Got your second book, so we'll leave a review for you soon. Keep fighting. My response is, hey there, Hazel. Thanks for the support and the review. Hope you enjoyed the second book as much as the first, and hopefully eventually eBay will be nice to all of us and give us our sales back again. Okay, and Jail Stanton just went through a stretch from August 2nd through August 8th where I had 4 zero sales days and $66 in total gross sales on my main account. while having only another $26 on my secondary account, which barely just missed 7 days in a row no sales. Completely different products on both accounts. My main account was doing $1,500 plus a week before April the 1st last year, before they effed up the platform with whatever it is they're attempting to do. I'm now at 33% of what I was making, despite having more stuff up, better stuff. Jamie's got to go. Thankfully, I have other venues, which I'll be sharing in my book being published next month, breaking down a lot of Jamie's horrible decisions. How he still has a job is beyond me. Until he's gone, this is eBay. Hayes responded is, let us all know about your book when your book is out. We're all keen to read your findings. Benny Stratton's response is, if you listened to the last earnings call, it finally sounds like the shareholders are seeing through its BS. All he did was BS around their very valid questions, especially the last one about Burbank cards, which what an idiot Jamie is. And it gets my goat to hear all these know-it-alls, or people that think they know it all, that have the audacity to tell other sellers they need to own up to their errors. That what is happening selling wise is their fault. No, it can never be eBay's fault. Nope, eBay are saints. Nothing they do behind the scenes to their site or spending money on worthless companies, or instead of innovating, they just copy other companies' ideas and are then late to the party. Nope, these know-it-all sellers rather belittle other sellers when they come to them for advice instead of actually stating the truth and calling out eBay. It's eBay that needs to accept their wrongdoings and take responsibility. Sorry if eBay, the CEO, can't do that. How the heck do you expect sellers that sell on their site to do that? Sorry, they are the captain. They, CEO and CFO, are the mother and father. Normally in a family unit, you lead by example. So maybe once Jamie starts to admit all the things they've done wrong over the last 4 years and accepts blame for it and actually listens to sellers on how to fix and guide the site and company in the future. He is a narcissist. He will never listen to sellers. He thinks he knows more than sellers, more than buyers, and more than shareholders. Like you said, JL, Jamie has to go, or it will be the end of eBay. eBay will fold, close their doors, or with some hope, another company will come and buy them and keep it open and running and hopefully turning the ship around for the good. I'm a very hopeful person, but I do not see it playing out that way. Again, there are many companies over the last 50 years that have closed up shop that many never in their wildest dreams thought would close. They had their heads in the sand and did not want to read the writing on the wall or read between the lines. They drank the CEO and company's Kool-Aid and were led astray. Sears, True, Kmart, Blockbuster, Circuit City, among many others. Preaching to the converted, Benny. 100% agree with you. And this is absolutely the fact at the minute. Arena Vision. eBay says that 82% of items on the site were being sold as new, so they developed a propaganda advertising machine in the AI. Now that has taken complete control over the overall shopping experience. This means that he who promotes at the highest percentage gets the sale, which means less money for you. It's a non-viable business model. The company will go out of business or partner with another company, possibly Walmart, to keep it going. It's unsustainable. Preach to the converted, Arena Vision. Yet again, these are all valid points. People need to be made aware of these things. They need to have their eyes open to what is going on behind the scenes. If you're putting your business in the hands of people like this, you have to accept or at least be aware and have contingencies in place to protect your future. 100%. Enjoy Silver. It's not just eBay. Many small businesses have had their sales cut in half. You're driving yourself crazy when the answer is obvious. eBay Life and Polish Pete are selling in saturated clothing markets. It's no surprise that you must promote to sell because nobody looks through thousands of listings before making a decision. Arena Vision, on the other hand, has a high demand product but seems to feel that his video games are worth more and doesn't accept that buyers tend to purchase the cheapest one. Okay, Enjoy Silver, let's break this down a bit. And absolutely, everybody's entitled to their opinion. As long as it is respectful, that is absolutely fine. So, let's just break this down a little bit. So many small businesses have had their sales cut in half. Absolutely. It is the economic climate that we are in. But companies on the whole are now starting to grow again. The bigger companies are exponentially exploding because they've got their fingers in the right pots when it comes to rinsing the public. The answer is obvious, but not the one you're saying. Not wholly. eBay Life and Polish Pete are selling in saturated clothing markets. Yes, we are. Take a look at the other sellers in the community. They are not all in clothing markets, and they are all being affected. So do not come out with just standard statements without facts to back it up. A 3-line answer spitting in the face of certain sellers on simple comments means nothing. Back up your facts. I'm fine to listen to them, but you need to back them up. Saturated market, absolutely. They've always been saturated. Nothing's ever changed. Saturated markets are growing. If you're going to fight the argument that the economic climate is down, people are wanting better products at better prices. Those saturated markets are fulfilling those needs. So don't go down that road. It's no surprise that you must promote to sell. Nobody has said we don't have to promote. I actually do not like promoted listings, but I accept it as part of the business. So that is null and void as well. Buyers don't want to look through thousands of listings. No, you're absolutely right. So the search needs to be working properly to put the correct items in front of the correct people. That is not what is happening at the moment. They are putting irrelevant items up, non-relevant items in front of people to make it fall into the halo effect of promoted listings so that they can generate higher revenues from those. So you're getting wrongly inflated impression counts, and then you're being blamed for the lack of sales. There are only so many buyers on the platform, so you've only got the same people to sell to. eBay need to be bringing in new buyers. It's just that simple. There are 8 billion people on the planet. You can't tell me that only 132 million actually buy from eBay. Let's get some more buyers. It's that simple. I know it's not that simple, but the factual part is that simple. Arena Vision and his products, he doesn't expect ridiculous prices, but those prices do sell at those products do sell at the prices he marks them at. So yes, buyers want the cheapest one, but they're not going to buy the cheapest one if it's crap, if it's bad condition, if it's 10 years old with scratches all over, etc., etc. Buyers aren't that stupid anymore. There is a medium that they will go for between quality and price. And buyers are more interested in searching, I think, at the minute. They're not as lazy as they used to be. So again, sorry, I personally disagree with all of your statements. But if you can back them up with more factual responses, I'm happy to have that debate. Benny Stratton, hey Carl, sorry to hear about your cat. My condolences. Thank you. Yes. Robert Burns, you got everything wrong, dude. You want to do the same as in COVID and everyone had free money. Now we are paying for that. Everything has slowed down. My son works at KFC and they are suffering. Okay, to answer you, Robert, I don't want to live in COVID times. COVID times were appalling. There wasn't loads of money. There was less money. There is even less money now, which means people are looking for good deals. They are making it stretch further. But even with that said, there are still buyers out there. There are still people buying. There are still people going out doing their daily thing. When was the last time COVID was ever brought up about anything? COVID is done and dusted. That's past. We are now in a different situation. You have the complete mishandling of eBay. Let's put that aside for the moment. Let's just look at the economic situation here, shall we? So, yes, companies are struggling, but buyers are struggling for sure. And that is having a massive impact. And that is an ongoing thing that is compounding. But unfortunately, to your argument, people are readjusting to this new level of costing in life. It means they can get less. They need to be more frugal with what they get, for sure. But what we're pointing out is much more than just that related. There are many factors involved, and you can't pigeonhole everything to one thing. There has been a downturn since COVID, yes. There has been a downturn in sales due to the economic climate, yes, 100%. I agree with that part. But that is only a portion of the situation. What we are seeing is not a gradual decrease in buying because people can't afford things. We are literally talking falling off a cliff. Things are being taken away left, right, and center. The platform, how it acts, is being changed overnight. These are the things we're talking about here. We accept the economic climate, summer slowdown. We accept these things. We understand these things. We're businesses. We get it. The factors that we're involved in here are focusing on the platform, on the instantaneous changes and impacts that has on our accounts. Those are the points we're getting at. Okay, so moving along, we have user EC5XNABY4S, doesn't even have a name. Okay, supply and demand. Simple answer. If it was only that simple, hey, let's solve all the problems in the world with 2-word answers. I've put welcome to the channel. Thanks for your input, but a very generic response, but not correct to the issue being described or shown in the series. But please take the time to think deeper and watch more to get a better understanding of what's being shown. That's as far as I'm going to put on that. Finding a better job, £11.50 per hour, not bad. Well, again, you're very flippant with your responses, user, so I'm not going to give it any more time. And finally, moving to our final comment, Husty's Emporium. I'm now down to only 2 no sales days in 31-day period. Sales are not great but consistent, not being listed much and still using the FU promoted technique. eBay will use anything they can to make things look how they are not. And I want you to just end on that last comment and take some time to think into what's being said there. Okay, so we're going to leave things there for you for the moment. I hope you've enjoyed the your thoughts and comments this fortnight, and keep checking in for more content. There's always more coming in. Check out the series. There's lots to be discussed and thought on. Very provoking information coming from other sellers. We're not happy. We're not happy, eBay, and things need to change. It's that simple. Whether they change back or change sideways, but they need to change for the future, because what you're doing is destroying the business, and it's not just your business you're destroying. It's millions of other businesses that keep the economy going as well that you're destroying. Answer your shareholders' questions, whether it makes you look like an idiot or not, because at the end of the day, it's all going to come out in the wash. The question is, will any of us survive by the time we get there? Okay, guys, hope you've enjoyed the content. Check out the other listings if you content if you want to keep looking at the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that jazz. Share the information and the content. Get a better community out there, bigger community. Let's keep this channel growing. In the meantime, I hope you have a great day of sales. And remember, keep it real.